morning, Starshine. This is Smadar from Song of Stones. I am a crystal whisperer, which means I talk to stones and they talk to me. And I share the messages that I get from the stones on my website and is on songofstones.com. And sometimes with people in my crystal community, I do one-on-one messages. And what it also means is that I listen for the crystals and stones that are singing just for you. So when you adopt a crystal from Song of Stones, it's not just any old crystal, it's the one that is singing most loudly, most beautifully, and shining most brightly for you. And today I have here a really, really magical fairy quartz cluster. And the fairies have been really on my mind lately. They've been on my mind. They've been very present lately. I've been feeling their presence, and they have been making sure that I feel their presence. The fairies are playful that way, and they have this reputation of being mischievous beings, but that's just their playful nature. I always know there's like this, they have this signature move that they do. They like to hide things. They like to be playful that way, make things disappear and reappear. And that's not because they're being mischievous. That's because they're leading you. They're leading you towards something that you need to see. Like, for instance, sometimes they'll hide something, and then when you are busy looking for that thing, you find something that you didn't even realize that you've been looking for, or something that you have been looking for that you had no hope of finding. And so that, to me, when things like that happen, I always know that fairies are close by. And I'm kind of reminded by also robins have been reminding me of the fairies, because robins have this little way of playing with you too. They do it for different reasons. They like to lead you. They will come, just a few feet away from you, and then they'll slowly move away, and that's their way of trying to get you to follow them, and follow them so they can lead you away from their nest, which they are protecting in their playful, magical way. So that kind of, I've been seeing that a lot lately. The robins are very very present right now. I've been seeing a lot of them. They're building their nests right now, so they're being extra playful and extra protective. So they've been reminding me of this playfulness of fairies. And this particular one, I'm going to tell you what I'm seeing right now. This is what I started seeing this morning. I until today, I had no, this did not come into my vision. But what I'm seeing is, right now I'm seeing an elf. Earlier I was seeing a green man. And if you don't know who the green men are, this is something that I've only been recently become aware of in the last couple of years. They have a deep mystical mythology. And they are, they're, if you think of the faces in trees, that would be the green man. There's a lot. I'm not going to go into that particular presence right now because I'm seeing so much in this crystal, and it's really not about one being in particular. It's about seeing the mystical beings in the crystals and why that happens and what's the reason that we see them, and just going on that exploration. But first, let me show you more of this crystal because it's so magical. When I first saw this crystal, first of all, it's a fairy crystal. So already we've got the essence of fairy magic in the glittery, in the glitteriness, in the glitter of these crystals. And can you see them sparkle in this light? I'm not sure that you can. But these fairy crystals, think of spirit quartz, and they're very similar, but the druzy on top of the quartz is much finer. So when you see spirit quartz, the crystals that have grown on top of the quartz underneath are bigger. And this particular one, what caught my interest was the fact that, let me see if you were going to be able to see this. Let me hold it up. That's better. So there's kind of like this indentation. I first saw it, it reminded me of a cup. And this would be an amazing crystal to create elixirs with, though I would not ingest an elixir created in this way, just because I don't know what's inside the crystals. And we just need to be aware of what we're putting in our bodies. There's the glitter aspect of it. You can see the shimmer. Yeah, there we go. So what this reminded me of afterwards, it was a mushroom cap. And mushroom caps are, as you know, very connected to the fairy world. They are fairy homes and fairy shelters. Mushrooms themselves have very beautiful mystical qualities. And then earlier when I was just taking photos, I noticed that this crystal over here kind of looks like an ear. And it reminded me that this crystal was inviting us to listen to the fairy song, or to listen to our own intuition and our own beliefs. Because that's important when we're talking about beings from other realms, because they are considered mythological. And if you believe in them, you're believing in magic, in something that is not real. I mean, to me, magic is definitely real. I witness magic on a daily basis. But, the mainstream society considers fairies to be mythological. It's funny that it's easier for people to believe in some things than others, like angels and ghosts and UFOs are easier to believe than fairies and other types of magic. I just find that interesting. So today, I am going to be sharing more about this crystal in the newsletter. And I'm exploring the whole concept of fairies and other mystical beings showing up in the crystals. And do magical beings live in the crystals? And what does that mean exactly? Doing all that exploration in today's light log post. I hope that you stop by the website and take a look at that post. And I'd love to hear what other people are feeling and what other people believe is the reason that we see crystals, that we see the magical beings in the crystals. And I will be offering this beautiful, magical, really, really magical crystal. The more I see it, the more I see in it, and the more magical it becomes to me. So I will be offering this crystal to people in our community before I put it up on the website. This is something that I just started doing. I used to share crystal moon messages on the new and full moons. And we just had one. We just came into a new moon and an eclipse. So this is, that in itself opens up all kinds of magic. But what I started doing instead, and it is not something that I planned to do, this is just something that kind of happened, that I was inspired to do by the crystals. And that's to offer a crystal every week, a special magical crystal to the community at a discounted rate. A soul journey crystal, if you want to call them that. I call the crystals that journey with us, that come to shift us, that come to transform us, that come to offer some magic, some wisdom, some healing, some you get the idea, some magical transformation. So I see those crystals as soul journey crystals. And this is definitely a soul journey crystal. It's a magical crystal, it's a fairy crystal, and it's a soul journey crystal. So I hope that you will stop by, and if you're not part of the community and you'd like to be, you're invited to join us. There's many ways to sign up. There'll be a link with this video, and there's a link to sign up at songofstones.com and on social media, Facebook and Instagram. You'll be able to find ways to sign up, and I hope to see you in the community. And in the meantime, I wish you a magical, magical day, and sending you lots of love and many, many blessings.